Welcome to another edition of It's Still Real to Me. Everything ZASLOW Show 2.0, including It's Still Real to Me, is brought to us by the title sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0, Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733. Whatever kind of accident you've been in, if you're dealing with a personal injury, car accident, motorcycle, boating, slip and fall, Anidjar and Levine, they treat you like family. They get you the money that you deserve. You take care of getting healthy. Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733. We are recording this here on Wednesday night. SummerSlam is Saturday night. My pal, of course, is Joey Levine. We wanted to pump out this episode. Well, we wanted to do it tonight for a couple reasons, right? Number one, we want to give ample time for your listening pleasure before Saturday night's big show. And unfortunately, I'm going out of town this weekend, and we're not going to be able to do a SummerSlam recap show, be it Sunday. So, for folks out there, Joey, who are waiting for the recap show after what I think is going to be a really good card, I think, on Saturday night, we're giving you the preview show. Unfortunately, my schedule is a little bit quirky next week, so there will not be a post-SummerSlam show. But how you doing? Are you excited for Saturday night? Do you have as high expectation for this card as I do?
You know what's interesting? I was thinking about this today, and the card looks great. Mm-hmm. But there's something about this SummerSlam that doesn't have me overly excited, but that actually made me excited because it seems like since Triple H took over, the cards that seem like they might not hit end up being great. Like the ones where you're like, not really sure how this is going to end up, how this card is going to go. Usually something happens. There's a big story, a great match, a couple great matches. So now I've gotten myself re-excited. Like I wasn't, and now I am.
Is it a factor at all that it was SummerSlam last year, which was Triple H's first show that he was supposedly in charge? You remember right out the get-go, super hot start. It was Becky versus Bianca. And Bianca wins her title back after a whole long feud. And that's when Damage Control debuted. Right. Bayley had been injured and gone for months. We thought that Dakota Kai was out of the company. They re-signed her. Nobody knew about it. And Io Sky, we didn't know what her situation is. And all of a sudden, she popped up as well. You had a massive pop from the crowd there at SummerSlam. And it was also kind of a sign of things to come under Triple H. Not that we were getting fun stuff like that, but he's been tremendous at keeping things secret if they want to.
Yeah. And there are multiple things that you would think that there's a possibility that if Roman wins, somebody comes back and debuts potentially, or not debuts or returns or something.
And closes the show.
It maybe closes the show because it's like, what's next if Roman wins, which we'll talk about. But I think there's a lot of possibilities. There could be NXT stuff. I mean, NXT guys coming up, Hurt Business is out there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's not on the card that could be another Triple H surprise.
Now, I don't like reading the dirt sheets and getting into spoilers and stuff like that, so I don't. But once in a while on social media, I'll come across headlines that want you to do the clickbait and then read about potential spoilers. And like one of the headlines that I read was, a bunch of unadvertised superstars are expected to be in Detroit. So I don't know.
I read it. I read it, but I won't tell you who it is, but I read it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't want to know who it is, but there is the idea. Maybe we're going to get some fun stuff there. Yeah. So it's in Detroit, Ford Field. That's where the Lions play. You're going to get a huge crowd there. And I think here's what we got tonight. We're going to go through the card. We're going to give you our picks, and then we'll have some fun at the end. And we're going to do our top 5, each of us. Top 5 all-time SummerSlam matches. Doesn't have to be the best, right? We're doing like our
moments. Okay. I did moments. All right. It could be matches.
Our favorite moments/matches.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not looking forward to doing this list because as I was putting it together, I was like, I don't think my list is good. And a lot of great moments happened when I was really young. So they're not going to be.
I got a bunch of young stuff. Yeah. I got a lot of stuff from very early SummerSlams, which was my
Right. And for me,
love that time. The golden era.
I think mine has a little more recency bias. Oh, although I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
All right. So it's going to be quite different, yours and mine, because I'm leaning heavily toward the early
I have for sure 100% one that I know you have. It's probably your number one. Okay. If I had to guess, based on what I know about you and wrestling and what you love, my number 4 or 5 is probably your number one. But we'll see.
All right. So we'll get to that. All right. So correct me if I'm wrong here. I believe we have 8 matches on the card, including the Battle Royal, right?
Yes.
Which I think is a really nice number. Not too many matches. I certainly don't want to have more than 8. I think 8's a good number. All right. So let's get after it here. We'll start out with the one that probably has the least intrigue, which I would say is the Battle Royal. So do we know the participants, and what are the stakes here for this Battle Royal?
We don't know stakes, and we only know... Well, I think there actually is some intrigue. Not necessarily intrigue, but there's a lot of interest in it because LA Knight's in it. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people are excited to see what happens. I think people don't have huge expectations because everyone, like we talked about last week, everyone's expecting LA Knight to lose. Mm-hmm. But all we know is LA Knight and Sheamus. Now, we may get some more entrants on SmackDown, and we don't even know how many people are in this Battle Royal. So...
I don't think you could really do a Battle Royal more than 20. You're probably going to get somewhere like 20.
They win something from Slim Jim. Slim
Jim's rain down from the top of the dome onto the mat. So I don't know if I'm...
Winner gets to take over. Oh, yes, they get to take that, snap into a Slim Jim. They take it from Macho Man. That becomes their slogan.
It feels like you're ready to say that LA Knight is not going to win the Battle Royal.
I'm not saying that. I think people are thinking because he keeps losing in big moments that they're just going to have him lose again.
So I think he could win the Battle Royal. But the reason that I'm skeptical about it is if he wins it, you're going to get a huge pop. Everyone's waiting for that really first big LA Knight moment. We have not had it yet. Do you want to use the first big LA Knight moment on a Battle Royal win where you and I don't even know the stakes are yet?
Right. No, I agree. And I think this is him losing is just, again, it's just classic WWE, what they do to build momentum for these,
I don't think he wins it.
Whenever there's a guy or girl that the company didn't plan on being big, this is how it goes. When they organically get over, they beat them down, and it takes time for them to give them that big moment, but it makes it better when it happens.
All right, so it's hard to pick who we think is going to win it because we don't know who is in it.
I mean, I could see Sheamus them being the last two and Sheamus winning.
And they're the only two in it right now.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. But how do you do that? Because Sheamus is pretty over. Like, Sheamus is not, like, who's the heel?
I mean, can we get Montez Ford? Can the Street Profits enter this Battle Royal? And that's like the first big win for Montez Ford when they're about to take that next step with them.
Could do that. You could do that.
I'd like to see that. All right.
Yeah. By the way, my whole Trick Williams and Angelo Dawkins being in the Hurt Business thing might have changed because last night Trick Williams went solo.
Oh, is that right?
He said, "We're not breaking up, but I got to do my own thing." And he's going after Ilya Dragunov. So,
all right, sometimes you got to do that, man.
Hey, Trick's a star. I think he's gonna be big.
By the way, that Great American Bash, I watched Great American Bash on Sunday night. Dragunov never misses, man. All his matches are great. Never misses. He's awesome. And I know that's like Carmelo Hayes' thing that he doesn't miss, but you put the two of them in the ring together. That was good stuff, man.
Yeah, Dragunov's great. Yeah.
That was good stuff. And if I could also give a shout out to the heel work from who is it? Roxanne Perez. What's the new girl's name? Davenport.
Blair Davenport.
The heel work where you make the sister cry. Excellent. Love that stuff.
Yeah.
Love that stuff.
By the way, not to get on too much of a tangent, I'm guessing you didn't watch NXT last night.
No.
Santos Escobar was back in NXT to do a three-man tag with Tony D'Angelo, the Don. He said, "I got an old friend who's going to be our third. Wait till you see who it is." And
this
Santos.
Well, you see what's happening here. Then, like, AEW has the advantage of being able to do that by mixing up AEW and Ring of Honor, and even their relationship with New Japan. So WWE is like, all right, that's that's another promotion we can mix shit up with and come up with other stories.
It's constant now. I mean, Rhea and Dom were backstage again. Dom's all over NXT. You got Corbin, you got Ali, and now Rey Mysterio is going to be on NXT next week.
I like it.
It's a Dragon Lee versus Dominic, and Rey Mysterio is going to be in Dragon Lee's corner.
I like it. I like mixing it up. Let's get to Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Joey, I thought it was a great promo they did on Monday night. The vignettes they made, the two of them crying, that was good shit.
Everything about this match was great and is great until you make it an MMA rules match.
Well, yeah, that I don't like. So what does that mean?
So dumb. Exactly. What does it mean?
Are they going to be a cage?
This is not MMA. We're not in MMA. And also, it's really hard to make in a wrestling match make MMA moves look realistic. It's very hard to do that. And let's just be honest.
Also, it's going to be a lot of grappling. It's going to be a lot on the mat.
Right. And let's just be real. Ask any UFC fan that watched Rousey back in the day. It's not like she was like the greatest technical MMA mixed martial artist. Yeah. She had certain skills, and she was around at a time where she was dominant. I think it's dumb. This is a grudge. This is a grudge
doing that.
This is a grudge match. This should be a no holds barred, anything goes, beat the fucking shit out of each other match. This shouldn't be MMA.
You're right. That's disappointing, man. But are both of us? I think it's easily Shayna Baszler's match. Yeah. I think it's gotta be Baszler. I think it's one of the easiest matches on the card to pick. It's got to be Baszler.
I think a lot of them. I think a lot of them are, at least to me, are pretty easy. But this one, Rousey's supposedly leaving. So
even if she weren't leaving. How stupid would it be if Shayna doesn't finally get that win? Well, not finally get a big win. Essentially her debut, she dominated the Elimination Chamber. Yeah. But that feels like 5 years ago,
Yeah. I don't want to do a whole negative segment, but we might one day have to do top 5 most disappointing runs in WWE history.
I think Ronda's pretty disappointing.
Rousey might be number 1.
Pretty disappointing.
Pretty awful.
Yep.
Pretty awful.
Yep. Gunther and Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther right now, I believe, is 3rd all time in Intercontinental title reign. We know number 1 is Honky Tonk. Who's number 2? Do you know who number 2 is?
I don't.
I'm not sure. Number 1's Honky Tonk and Gunther's 3.
I don't know. Yeah,
no, it's not Macho Man. Macho Man's 4. He's right behind Gunther.
Okay, that's right. Gunther passed.
And it's someone I didn't recognize when I saw the picture. But anyway, so Gunther is Gunther Intercontinental Champion. Drew McIntyre certainly looks like a very considerable threat. I think this match is going to be awesome. The triple threat where you also had Sheamus in it. Amazing match. Every match that Gunther's in is amazing. This one's not going to be any different. What I do find interesting, and if this plays any kind of role, Ludwig Kaiser, how about finally getting a win on television on Monday night over Matt Riddle? I love that. Let's get Imperium a win here and there on television. Yep. So that was a good look for Ludwig Kaiser there. And
Riddle, but see you later, Riddle. Yeah. So apparently they're not big fans of him backstage right now.
Yeah.
So that was part of that too.
This one I had to think about. I think it's Gunther retaining.
I don't think there's any way Gunther loses this.
Okay.
I just don't. I personally, it's not the time. Drew's great, and this is gonna be a great match. I'm excited to watch the match because it's gonna be a great match.
It's gonna be great.
But what solidified it for me was I think we saw who's going to beat Gunther on Monday night.
Who?
I think it's going to be Chad Gable.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be amazing? Well, and they had a small guy who beat him for the NXT title, too.
They set it up. He did the 5-minute match. He lasted the 5 minutes with Gunther. So he won the match technically.
That was a great segment. It was a great match.
Lasted the 5 minutes. Gunther is the ring general. The mat is sacred. Chad Gable, the former Olympian, all-world, actual wrestler, the small guy versus the big guy, the massive heel versus the super over, Chad Gable. I'm sold. You know how I feel about Gable.
I'm turning around on him now too because Alpha Academy has got a great momentum to them right now. I'm surprised at how much I think Maxine Dupree has done for them. I think that whole group has become really likable. Crowd loves them. They're a good act right now.
It's really hard to just be firmly mid to low card and the crowd consistently reacting positively. Crowd eventually, generally when you're in that spot and you're kind of gimmicky, the crowd turns on you eventually and gets bored. These guys, I mean, all of them are good. Maxine Dupree has been very good, but
I think she's been very good.
Gable's incredible, and Otis is just the man. I mean, he's so fun. Like you can't not like Otis. So
but yeah,
I got Gunther. I just don't see him dropping it yet. I got
Gunther, and my hope, and this is what I said when Drew McIntyre returned, and he didn't return heel. My hope is that this loss to Gunther will break out the Scottish psychopath. And he mentioned Scottish psychopath a couple Mondays ago. You remember that?
Yeah.
He did mention that. All right. How about let's do Ricochet and Logan Paul? This match is going to be a lot of fun, right? I mean, Logan Paul has been amazing, obviously, in every appearance that he's had so far in WWE. I loved the promo that he cut on Monday night where he said, we're going to meet at SummerSlam, and I'm going to have your fiance say my name at the end of the match. That's good shit. I enjoyed that, man.
Yeah. I think he has to win. I think he has.
I think Ricochet wins.
No, I mean, at that, and then at what point is the Logan Paul thing just done? If he never wins matches,
does he never win matches?
Hasn't he lost his last few? I mean, he's always fighting top guys, but
yeah, I mean, he lost to Roman Reigns. He won his debut when he was a tag team with Miz, and then Miz turned on him.
Yeah,
and then when he fought Miz, he had to have beaten Miz when he fought him, right? I don't remember, but he had to have beaten him. I'm sure my man Victor's going to tell us.
He hasn't won a match. I mean, he beat the Miz. He won his debut with the Miz. Then he lost to Roman. He lost to Seth. He was in the Royal Rumble, which he obviously didn't win, and he was.
He never ended up having a one-on-one with Miz. That never happened.
Yeah, he beat the Miz.
He beat him. Okay.
Yeah, but he's lost. I mean, he lost to Roman. He lost to Seth.
I just don't think losses hurt Logan Paul. I don't think it hurt him.
If he's got to win it. He's got to win another singles match at some point. And if he doesn't beat Ricochet, who's he beating?
He lost in the Money in the Bank match.
He's lost the last 4 matches. He's had 6 matches. Mm-hmm. He won his first 2, and he's lost the last 4 that he's been in. But 2 of them, one was Royal Rumble, one was Money in the Bank.
So Samantha Irvin, his fiance, is going to say, and the winner, Logan Paul?
Yeah, I think so. And then he's going to get on his private plane. He's going to fly to Texas so he can walk his brother to the ring to fight Nate Diaz.
That's right. We talked about that. All right.
I'm guessing that's going to open the show. It seems like.
All right. You know what? You've changed my mind. At the very least, I'm rooting for Logan Paul to win.
I think he's going to win. I mean, I also think. Here's the thing. If Ricochet beats Logan Paul, it doesn't really do much for Ricochet.
Oh, I think it does, though. Getting a singles win at SummerSlam? I think it does.
Well, it does, but like, can he come out and be like, I beat Logan Paul, it's time for me to be in the title? No, I mean, like, he's just still going to be Ricochet. I don't, but I think Logan Paul, I think they want to give him a big moment and a win and continue like him being able to go out.
I'll tell you what, the fact that he's going to be going straight from that to a boxing pay-per-view, they probably want him being able to say, I just won a match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just want him to be able to do it, period. Like, he can go on all of his social media and all of his shit and be like, I just went to WWE and I beat the most athletic human on the planet.
All right, I changed my mind. I'm with you.
He can go out and say, now I'm the most athletic human on the planet because I just beat Ricochet.
You changed my mind. I'm with you now.
Right, there we go.
Women's title match. And of course, we're talking about the WWE title because the world title does not get defended on SummerSlam, apparently. We have
I will say I forgot which one of the wrestling accounts said the door is still open for it to get added the night of, but I don't know if that's true. That's probably bullshit. But
Asuka versus Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair. I don't think the end game with this 3-way feud is involving the title, at least not right now. I think it's about eventually Charlotte versus Bianca. Can they hold off on that until WrestleMania? I don't know, but that feels like a WrestleMania match to me. I think it's all about Charlotte versus Bianca. Asuka's going to retain here, and then we're going to continue on with Io. Is she going to cash in? Hell, she may cash in on Saturday night. I could see that. She might cash in there, but Charlotte and Bianca, neither one of them is walking away with that title.
I agree. I mean, I really don't have a ton to add. I agree with that. That seems like the right move across the board.
Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes. Are you into it? Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes 3. What, did Cody win the first one with a roll-up, right? Brock won the second one where Cody passes out, broken arm.
Yep.
And now, now we got to get a decisive victory now, right? From one of them.
Yeah, it'll be a good match and it'll be fun. And I think it's Cody.
It's Cody. Yeah, I think it's Cody.
Yeah. And I think this is Cody. I mean, this could also just be the next step to him going back to finishing the story. Because where do you go after Brock?
I think there's still something in between.
Yeah.
I think there's still something else. Not with these two.
For Cody. For Cody.
I think there's still something for Cody before he works his way back to the title picture. I think there's still something else.
Heel Randy Orton?
I don't know.
Maybe a bad guy Randy Orton shows back up?
There's a backstory there, obviously. I don't know.
Right. I'm trying to think of who's big enough to put with Cody at this point, because it's like, he's so big. He's so much bigger than everybody. It's like...
And for people who want to say, hey, maybe it's Bray Wyatt, number one, putting Bray Wyatt stink anywhere near Cody Rhodes, I think would be a mistake. And number two, people are going to cheer Bray Wyatt when he comes back. You can't have them cheering for the guy against Cody.
Could it be Finn if Finn wins?
No, because Cody doesn't want that belt.
Yeah, but
he didn't want it. He didn't want it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So
have you watched? By the way, did you watch the documentary?
Not yet. Is it on? It's on the cock.
It is. It's
right.
good. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Noticeably absent. I don't know if it's because he's in AEW, but Dustin's not in it.
No,
at all. Like, he's not in any of the interviews. He's not in the entire. I mean, he's in it in footage, Gold Dust and all that, but he's not in the doc, which I thought was weird.
World Championship. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. This is a story 7 years in the making. I think it was SummerSlam.
It was
for the original Universal Championship. Finn Balor won it. Had to give it up the next night because Seth Rollins buckle bomb outside the ring. Yep. Finn fought through it, still won the title, had to give it up. I think Finn Balor wins the world title.
I can see it go. This one's the hardest. This one is the hardest one on the whole thing for me.
It is
because Seth is still so over, and he hasn't had the title that long.
Let him chase again.
Still hasn't had the title for that long.
He hasn't had it for that short. It's been what, 3 months? Not that short.
It's not that long. The way they've been doing long title runs lately, that would be short. Like, everybody who has a title right now has had it for a while.
I think it's all about Judgment Day. I told you last week. I think it's about every member of Judgment Day, Rhea, Dominic, Priest, and Finn having something to hold up in that ring. I think it's about all of them running shit now. And I mean, they're the dominant storyline on Monday Night Raw. And I think you gotta dive into the whole Finn Balor getting paranoid and looking over his shoulder on Damian Priest. I think Finn wins the world title this weekend.
Yeah. I think it makes sense. I think it's Finn. I think Finn makes sense. Wouldn't be shocked if it's still Seth.
And the main event, of course, tribal combat. We don't really know what that means. Maybe we'll find out this Friday. But Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, we've been waiting for this. We have finally come full circle. Does Jey Uso topple Roman Reigns?
No, I don't think so.
I'll tell you why I don't think so. Because this here feels more to me. It feels like they're fighting for who's going to be tribal chief as opposed to who is the WWE Universal Champion. It feels like this, and I know they're both on the line, but it feels like what's on the line is the family, is being tribal chief. And when Roman Reigns finally loses, the main focus, I think, needs to be for the WWE Universal title, not for who's tribal chief.
I agree. And I think as great as Jey Uso is, and as cool of a story as it would be for him to win, as soon as Jey Uso is like, I know everyone loves Jey, and he's been really good in his stretches as a solo competitor. As soon as Jey is not going up against Roman Reigns, you're not going to care as much. You're just not. And I think it's got to be someone big. It's got to be someone huge to finally beat Roman. And not that Jey is not huge in this moment, but he's not Cody. He's not Seth Rollins. He's not Brock. He's not the returning The Rock, which I don't think would be the person to beat him either. But you know what I'm saying? I think it's like someone huge, whoever that is, has to beat Roman. And I don't think that's Jey. That's not a knock on him. It's just Roman is what makes Jey huge to me.
Yes, yeah, so you and I agree with everything except at first you convinced me Logan Paul over Ricochet, but otherwise you and I are on the same page with all these matches.
Yeah, I told you. I think the card is pretty straightforward in terms of
great card.
Wins and losses.
Even if the wins could be obvious, I think it's a great card.
Yeah, the matches are great. The only, because of the stipulation, I have very little desire to watch Rousey and Baszler now because I think it's not going to live up to what we thought it was going to be. But everything else is going to be every other match is going to be super entertaining.
Let's do top 5 all-time SummerSlam moments. Now, Joey's a little bit younger than I am, so keep that in mind. Let's hear yours, Joey. Go 5-1 for purposes of drama. Go ahead.
Okay, so my first 2 are actually older ones. Number 5, 1996, Boiler Room Brawl, Undertaker, Mankind. Okay. Pallbearer turns on the Undertaker.
Okay.
That's number 5 for me. Number 5.
All right.
Number 4, this one is the one that I'm predicting to be your number 1. British Bulldog beats Bret Hart at Wembley in 1992. Okay.
Yep, it was the main event, too. The Intercontinental title was the main event.
Intercontinental title. Number 3, Shane McMahon getting knocked off of the 50-foot-high scaffolding by Steve Blackman.
That's right.
At SmackDown or SummerSlam 2000.
That's right.
And now this is where I think people are going to get a little frustrated. It's probably a more recent thing within the last decade, but these stuck out to me as soon as I thought of SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar beating the absolute dog shit out of John Cena in 2004.
That's right. Total squash. That's right.
The worst beatdown Cena's ever taken in his whole life.
Total shocker. Was
the whole time you're thinking, all right, when's Cena going to turn around? When's Cena going to turn around?
It was nonstop suplexes.
And he just beat the dog shit.
Wasn't that where Suplex City bitch was born?
I think it was with Roman, actually, where he said it. But it might have been in that match. I don't remember, but I think it was. But also, one thing that happened in that match that I think needs to happen more in those grudge match type of matches, Cena just runs at him and they start beating the shit out of each other. Like, a lot of times you have these blood feuds in these grudge matches and they lock up.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, why are you locking up? You're trying to kill each other.
What are you trying to be technical about?
And in that match, I watched the beginning of the match back because I was trying to see how long it actually was. Cena just goes right at him. Now, so that was number 2. Number 1 for me might be controversial. Daniel Bryan wins the title in 2013. We think it's his time, and Randy Orton cashes in.
Yeah. Triple H screwed him.
The true beginning of the Yes movement.
Very
good. Daniel Bryan loses that title.
So here's what I got. Here's my top 5. I'm going to tell you off the bat, maybe it's because he lost. Brett and Davey Boy, not on my list. Not on my list.
That's crazy.
Here we go. Now you got to remember, these are not, it's moments. It's what I remember. It's my
I know. I figured just the fact that they main evented at Wembley would be enough for you.
Number 5, the original SummerSlam, 1988. The main event, Mega Powers versus Mega Bucks. Jesse Ventura, special guest referee. And of course, we were leading up to it. Miss Elizabeth has something planned for everybody. And remember, she got up on the apron. She took off her dress and she had the bikini underneath, which she had never, ever done that before. Ted DiBiase got super distracted. Mega Powers win. That's number 5.
All right.
Number 4, when Honky Tonk Man, all-time greatest, longest Intercontinental Championship reign of all time, comes to an end, SummerSlam 88, the original SummerSlam. Who's going to be my opponent? I'll fight anybody. Bring them on out here. And all of a sudden, Ultimate Warrior's music hits. Runs to the ring. Clothesline here, clothesline there.
Over.
A big splash. Honky never took off his gear. Over. Ultimate Warrior, new Intercontinental Champion. That's number 4 to me. Number 3, Triple H. Ladder match. Wins the Intercontinental Championship over The Rock, 1998. This is number 3 for me because this was Triple H's first big win.
Yeah.
He was the babyface. Rock was a heel. Rock losing the IC title was, okay, now it's time to jump into main event championship territory. This was Triple H's first major win. Great match. Number 3. Number 2, SummerSlam 91. Near perfect match. Also for the Intercontinental Championship. Bret Hart wins the title for the first time against Mr. Perfect. Tremendous match. That was number 2. Beat him with the sharpshooter. And number 1. Now this is for me because I was a little kid and obviously Bret Hart, my all-time favorite. It's one of my all-time favorite matches. It's my all-time favorite SummerSlam match. SummerSlam SummerSlam 1990, the Hart Foundation, for the second time ever, win the tag team championship 2 out of 3 falls against Demolition. And that was back when Demolition had just added Crush. And in the middle of the match, Axe came out from under the ring and replaced Smash. And you thought the Hart Foundation was going to lose until the newly arrived at WWF Legion of Doom walked down to the ring, distracted Demolition. Hart Foundation wins the match and the titles, 2 out of 3 falls. My favorite SummerSlam match / moment of all time. And there you have it. Top 5 SummerSlam matches / moments from the both of us. How about that?
I gotta give real quick. I gotta give love to the one that I was on my list and then I took it off. 2014, Nikki Bella turns on Brie Bella.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That was a big moment. That was I don't think anyone saw that. So that was one that was almost on my list. And Undertaker versus fake Undertaker.
Of course. How could anyone forget? That's a good job, man. Good job, Joey. So enjoy SummerSlam this Saturday night. I'll enjoy it too. Like I said, unfortunately, we're not going to have a reaction show because I'm going away for a few days, but I hope everybody out there enjoys it. Joey, tell all your fans you'll talk to them. You'll talk to them when you talk to them. Go ahead.
I'll talk to you guys when I talk to you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. We love wrestling. We'll talk to you on the next edition of It's Still Real to Me.